Raphael Levy, ready to bring you your top 8 here at Grand Prix Vienna 2013. Just 8 players remaining, they're all in the feature match area, shuffling up ready to play. We're starting with an awesome match. Pro Tour Theros winner Jeremy Dezani playing Mono Blue Devotion against Pro Tour Return to Ravnica winner Stanislav Cifka playing Blue White. The other matches we've got going on, we've got Robin Dolar playing Esper up against Oliver Polak-Rotman on Mono Blue. The other Mono Blue deck we have is Marci Staciwa. He's up against Red Devotion from Johan Prinzell. And finally we have Niklaus Kaltenberg against Manuel Cecilia. There we've got White Weenie with a bit of red against another Red Devotion deck. So red just sort of pulling out in the last stages. And the big story really that Mono Black did so well in Albuquerque. Owen Turtenwald, winner there. Not represented at all in this top 8, and actually the only black cards in this top 8 in the Esper deck. Ignoring Night Vale Spectres, of course. But here we go, we're settling down. 2 Pro Tour winners, Stanislav Cifka, Jeremy Dezani for the quarterfinals at Grand Prix Vienna.
So we've playlisted this matchup for the Pro Tour.
Yeah?
Mono Blue against White-Blue control. In the first place, we almost ditched Mono Blue.
Wow.
Because it was doing so bad against Esper. The version we had was doing so bad against Esper. And it was doing even worse against White-Blue control.
Yikes.
So we thought, yeah, that's not a deck we can play. But then we worked on it a little bit more. We thought, yeah, Esper is bad, but not as bad as we thought. But yeah, White-Blue is the worst. So that's what we came up with. And if there's a bad matchup, I think that could be the one.
Okay, so on paper perhaps Stanislav Cifka maybe a little bit ahead, but it looks like Dezani here, his first 2 turns are pretty much the 2 turns that you want if you're going to have the beatdown draw. 1 drop, 2 drop. If you can have a Night Vale Spectre here and then a Master of Waves, then we're cooking with gas. Stanislav Cifka, unsurprisingly, starting off with a couple of lands and not a whole lot in the way of spells. He's all about trying to gain card advantage slightly more gradually, and having a little think before he notes down on his life total that he's going to be going to something less than 90.
So it could be Azorius Charm, it could be... Here it is.
There is an Azorius Charm, so that would send Cloudfin Raptor to the top of Dezani's deck.
So the options here is... the option 8 here is playing Hybridization on the Raptor. I don't think Jeremy wants to draw the Raptor again.
And this way round he's got a 3-3 and a draw that's not a 1-drop with no power.
He will get the frog, yes.
There we go.
The French frog.
Haha,
here
see
it
what he
is.
did there. And 3 damage coming through from that Frostburn Weird there. So Cifka's immediate goal is just to keep playing lands and not take too much damage, right?
Exactly. So the plan is to play Supreme Verdict on turn 4, basically, or 5. And stabilize at about 10 or 15 life.
15 looks like it might be a bit of a stretch.
The closer to 15, the better.
So Dezani having a little think here. He's got a Cyclonic Rift and a Judge's Familiar that he's sort of flicking at the front of his hand. Nothing to bounce yet with that Rift. But yeah, a straightforward attack. Cifka going to 12. And there's Thassa. No, oh, there's the
solve.
Immediately dealt with.
Yeah, Thassa is a big problem for White-Blue. So if it doesn't hit play, it's just so much better.
And it looks like no 4th land there for Jeremy Dezani. He has got a Master of Waves in hand, but it looks like it... And I guess it maybe isn't at its best when he's only got 2 Devotion anyway.
Well, Master of Waves is very, very good against creature decks. It's not really that impressive against decks with Supreme Verdict. Because just, you have to commit so much.
So we just got a quick update from the game of Staciwa versus Prinzell. Turn 1, Cloudfin Raptor. Turn 2, Cloudfin Raptor and a Familiar. Judges Familiar, that is. Turn 3, Tidebinder Mage. So Staciwa, who was riding high in the Swiss, he was the last undefeated player, having a pretty reasonable start with his mono blue deck. Cifka here sitting back. We can see another Dissolve in his hand along with Elspeth and the lands to ultimately be able to cast it.
His hand is not exactly exciting yet.
That Detention Sphere though, another way of just buying him a bit of time, right?
I think Jeremy is just going to go for the attack for 7. Not playing any more spells. He doesn't need to. He does not want to come. He does not need to commit more with 7 damage on the board. It's potentially like lethal next turn.
Oh, and Dezani here, just going to check something with one of the judges. Any ideas what this might be? No.
I have no idea. If you attack with 2 creatures.
Wow, a very fast win on game 1 for Robin Dolar's Esper deck over Oliver Polak-Rottman's Mono Blue Control, Mono Blue Devotion. So that match already one game now. Dolar, by the way, was the #1 seed of the event, so he'll be able to choose to go first every single round. In this matchup, Dezani had finished 4th in the Swiss, Cifka in 5th. So Dezani has got the virtue of going on the play here, but should he win this match, if he's up against Dolar, he's definitely going to be on the draw against Control in the next one. He's going to have to potentially, if Dolar wins, fight his way through a lot of Control if he wants to win this GP. So just one pump initially there on the Frostbone.
So that's not what Cifka wants to see.
The 3rd pump is the one that he's thinking about. Yep, there we go.
7 gone to 5.
And Cifka draws a land. I mean, you don't want to miss land drops with your control decks, but that's not necessarily what he was. I mean, yeah. So there's the Detention Sphere on the Frog Lizard token.
Play land tapped or untapped.
Plays a land and passes, and Dezani has the opportunity here to take Cifka down to just 1 life without having to commit anything more to the board. When I had Return to Ravnica limited games a bit like this, where I'm just crashing in with Frostburn Weird, but not so much in Constructed.
Elspeth might just be able to
come in right on time.
Yeah, that's the last time he could actually do it. And an island would have been so much better than the Mutavault here. We discussed so many times how important the islands are over a Mutavault. Like here, island would have won the game.
Yeah.
He could have pumped once more and played a Judge Familiar.
And so there's Elspeth immediately ticking up, making 3 soldier tokens. And this the power of the Planeswalker that can immediately protect itself. But Judge's Familiar still asking a question of Cifka.
Since Jeremy has a Cyclonic Rift, if he bounces Elspeth, attack with everything, then he will eventually die to I think attacking with Mutavault was good too.
So he's taken Cifka down to just 1 life here. Judge's Familiar in play, threatening that extra 1. And there's a Night Veil Spectre. So now, and a Cyclonic Rift on the Elspeth. Lots of action, lots of different ways that Cifka could be dead now. But a Supreme Verdict deals with many of them.
Well, Supreme Verdict, he would still lose to Mutavault.
Yeah.
Oh no, he has Azorius Charm in hand. He can eventually gain 2 life by blocking, but it's not saving him. Draw a card.
So yeah, that's game 1 for Jeremy Dezani. He goes 1 game up against Stanislav Cifka.
Yeah, he's playing a work too.
So we are, I think we're going to be jumping across and seeing a little bit of one of the other games that's going on while these players are shuffling up. So we're now going to get a chance to see quite a different game going on. So this is Kaltenberg against Cecilia, and look at this. So we've got more or less White Weenie on one side of the board, and then Red Devotion on the other side. There's Chain to the Rocks going on for both sides. There's Stormbreath Dragon with protection from white that's just huge, and then Boros Rekna in any creature matchup, an utter beating.
There's only a Chain to the Rocks on the one side.
Oh, I apologize. There's the potential for it on both, sorry.
But white, I don't think White Weenie is splashing for he's playing Chain to the Rocks. It doesn't have enough mountains. Well, we have the list right there, but
of course we do, yeah.
I don't think he's playing them. So 6 mana, Mizzy Motors.
And it looks like that's the game there. So another result come through. So let's see which match we can jump across to now. Getting plenty of action from this feature match area.
All right.
So this is Staciwa on the left of our screen up against Prinzell on the right. Another red mage, and this time with Chandra Pyromaster in play with 5 loyalty.
Are the blue mages in trouble in this round?
The blue mages, well, I mean, Dezani seems to be doing all right.
Yeah.
But admittedly, he's up against another blue mage after a fashion. Here, things not looking super rosy for Staciwa, though. Yeah, the life totals show that it's not completely lost. There's 2 damage fairly consistently coming through in the air.
This edition of Chain to the Rocks in Mono Red is key to beat Mono Blue. Without that, you cannot deal with
Master of Waves. I mean, even if you can kill the tokens, just there being one guy that keeps on chugging on through. And killing all the tokens isn't super easy.
It's such a great card. I love this card, Chain to the Rocks.
It's so flavorful as well.
I like how you have to work to actually play it.
Yeah.
It's very powerful, but build your deck around it.
Yeah.
To have access to this removal.
And so, wow. If you're going to activate your Chandra Pyromaster,
you can play it this turn. All right.
Don't think he's going to mind that too much. Protection from white, not the most relevant ability here. There's no Judge's Familiars in play or anything like that. But a 4/4 haste, which he's not that far off having the mana to be able to make it monstrous either, is quite the threat. And a little bit behind on life, Johan Prinzell, very happy to have a way of redressing the balance just a little bit. Go. The red creature getting into the red zone and turning into a green frog lizard. Ribbit. In some respects, kind of a shame to me that it wasn't actually a reprint of Pongify. The only reason being how much I enjoyed Kenji Samura's reaction to the card Pongify.
Would he just
he just loved the word, and he would just say it again and again and again and again and again.
Pongify.
Pongify.
Pongify. Oh.
Pongify. As it is, we have rapid hybridization, which I find much trickier to say, but equally as powerful, making frog lizards rather than apes. And here we have Master of Waves making 4 elemental tokens. So Staciwa ahead on life, and he now has the overlap in terms of creatures.
We can see a white card in Johan's hand.
Well, realistically,
it's Chain to the Rocks.
And chain to the rocks is exactly what he needs against Marci waves.
Attacking for 2.
Prinzell draws for his turn.
The Ash Zealot is not tapped. It's just. I see. Yes,
it's tapped
it
by
is tapped.
Tied by the
Is it
Mage.
tapped? Is it? It is
Yeah,
tapped.
Tied by the Mage has it on lock.
Right. It's a little confusing where it's in the middle of the middle of the board. And,
At least that way he won't forget about it for devotion if he needs to. So Prinzell doing the maths here. He doesn't want to jump into the red zone unnecessarily.
so chain to the rocks is gonna take care of Master of Waves. Then he's gonna have to deal with 2 creatures on 7 life plus the Mutavault.
First things first, red mana.
Is that Reckoner? Ash Zealot. Okay.
A fine choice. Bit of haste, a bit of first strike. The other ability on Ash Zealot, not necessarily quite as relevant now as it was when Innistrad was legal.
Can you actually play anything from your graveyard now?
Not a great deal.
That means 0.
Yeah, I don't think so. If you can think of anything, let us know in the chat. There's the chain to the rocks.
Definitely the Master of Waves.
Whoop. And all the horsies go bye-bye.
Out of the water.
The first one on a Cloudfin Raptor, that must have been a relatively hefty one, I would guess. This is the game that started turn 1 Cloudfin Raptor, turn 2 Cloudfin Raptor, and Judge's Familiar, turn 3 Tidebinder Mage. So those Raptors have been growing pretty quickly, and it was definitely a quick start, but Prinzell now looks to have established some nominal levels of control.
So now the question is, what do you do with Chandra? Do you attack? Do you use the +1? And
so he's gone with the 0, and it looks like he's found a land.
You can also use it on Tidebinder Mage and ping the Mage, ping Martin, and the Mage cannot block, right?
Yes.
So that would have been 2, 4, 7, 8, 9. 9 damage. But he's probably not blocking anyway.
The chat has suggested Diluvian Primordial lets you play cards from the graveyard.
Oh, right.
So congratulations, good job, King Plesson in the chat for that one. Well done.
He's the son of the King Pie. King Pie son. What?
And in the meantime, Johan Prinzell working out his best attacks.
I think he should attack with the frog, like as maybe keep 1 blocker here. He doesn't need to keep a lot more. He just wants to. He can keep 1 of the Frostbite Weirds and attack with the rest. He wants to be able to win next turn. Wait. Did you say attack step or no attacks? He's not attacking?
I'd have been tempted to get stuck in just a little bit there.
But
I know.
why didn't he attack?
I mean, now he's got a good reason not to attack, but previously, yeah, at least the Ash Zelot.
I don't quite get it. I don't get it. At least the frog, the lizard, and the Ash Zelot, that's just 5 points for free. There was nothing he could do about it. Maybe I'm missing something. I'm not sure. What can he do with 4 mana?
So another quick update. We've just heard that the Table 1 match, so that's Robin Dola against Oliver Polak.
He's probably holding Fanatic of Mogus.
He just wants to make sure he gets the devotion.
14, 15. He's still missing 1 damage. Well, with Chandra, he's going to
Chandra will do it,
yeah.
Oliver Polak Rotman has now squared up his match against Robin Dola. That now 1-1 as they vie to get into the semi-finals of this top 8 here in Vienna.
I don't think there was a good reason not to attack, but he's still winning this game. If he doesn't have it, I would be very surprised.
And it sounds like another match has now gone to the 3rd game, so Kaltenberg has been able to square up his match against Cecilia, so that one will go to game 3 as well.
So Burning Tree, Emissary, 2 mana, 2 power, the Fanatic of Mogus for 17 damage.
Wow.
4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 15.
That is an awesome way to end the game. And Staciwa says, "Yep, all right, fine, you got me."
That was the only reason. I didn't see any other reason why not to attack. If he had a counter spell or something, he could have played around the well. Did he check his opponent's deck list before the match? Did they have a chance?
Yes, they did have a chance to do that. So we're going to get a little bit of Cifka against Dezani here. It looks like slightly different plans going on because there's a big Jace in play. But a Gainsay... Oh, this is a Jace split that's going on now. So he's put Gainsay Mutavault in one pile, Detention Sphere in the other.
It's game 2, right?
I believe so, yes. We will just double check that though. This is game 2.
Yeah.
So we've only missed the opening turns really of this second game. Currently Dezani
a lot has happened since then.
Yeah, we can see
Gainsay took care of Tasa, Essence
Scatter on Master Waves.
Master of Waves. Nothing dealt with Jace Memory Adapt.
Not yet, but there is the potential for a Detention Sphere to get picked up here.
So Cifka wondering if he should take the Sphere or not. Yeah.
He goes for it and has a little think about what order to put things on the bottom of his deck.
It's very relevant. Well, not really, but...
Oh yeah, with those 2 exact cards it seems very unlikely to do a whole lot, and he's going for the Detention Sphere, getting rid of big Jace. That can sit over there.
Is there a land coming up? No
Ooh,
land, no 5th land.
So that's why he was thinking for so long about that Jace split.
Oh wow. Have you seen the draw?
I have not, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm guessing we're going to see it pretty shortly.
Yeah, it's another Jace, another big Jace.
Ooh. Jace me once, shame on me. Jace me twice. And in the battle of the Jaces, it's looking increasingly likely that Dezani is going to get ahead. But he's starting off with the Master of Waves here. Oh, the token's in high demand in this feature match area. I'm sure we'll have some soon enough.
It's not a land.
So no double white here for Stanislav Cifka. So even if he has a Supreme Verdict, he cannot cast it.
Cycle Charm. No, Last Breath.
Well, that's pretty good. I mean, Dezani gains a bit of life, but that's not really the important thing at this point.
Did he just leave a window for Stan to have a Gainsay to counter the...
And it would
Big
have
Jace.
it would have to be Gainsay.
Yeah.
We're about to see the reason that I'm not very good against playing against control. I haven't got the patience to wait for my right spot to play my big threats. I'm kind of like,
Oh,
let's see if you've got it.
he's not waiting for anything. He's just gonna go for it. He's gonna play it before combat. Oh, he's also holding a Gainsay. So,
force it through.
and that looks very bad for Cifka right now. He's stuck on 4 lands.
So he
facing
mills Cifka a land just for the rub-ins there, gets to draw a card himself, swings for 1 with Frostburn Wind, passes back to Stan.
He's facing 2 Mutavaults, Frostburn Weird. Jeremy's drawing 2 cards a turn. He's stuck on 4 lands.
This could be a quick quarterfinals.
Quick, well, it already took a while, but it might not take as long as some other games.
Which is great news because it means we get to see more Magic.
If the other games are not over yet.
Yeah,
Okay. I see what you're saying.
we got there.
So what's the sequence Cifka has to go through to actually win this game?
I think. Well, he's
Oh
found
wow,
the pithing
Needle. Needle was...
I didn't have
All
that
right,
on my list,
yes.
but that's a really good
Yes,
answer.
that's a good start.
So now Dezani is back to the slightly more pedestrian
Was
beatdown.
it on top? Needle
It was.
on
He
top, right?
scried, saw it was there,
yeah, okay.
and
So that's why he Oh, his second Needle from Mutavault.
okay, we have our first semi-finalist. Nicholas Kaltenberg with his almost mono-white deck wins over Manuel Cecilia, so he will be in the semi-finals. That's 1 for Austria in the semi-finals.
Attacking with so 5 mana.
And a Night Veil Spectre
More and more creatures.
doesn't want to give Cifka the time to draw either the white mana he needs or the Supreme Verdict, or potentially both. Get this game done. Have a little break before the semi-finals.
Do you think he boarded in the creature plan?
I mean,
Oh,
I
no
think
second white.
I think that he often does board in the creature plan against mono blue on the understanding that
he doesn't know.
yeah, and also that their counter spells aren't effective against his angel, and it makes his Mutavaults much better against everything.
Is he gonna peek a planes on the Rubbins?
Oh wow! So this Mutavault looking likely to dive in the way of something. It's a land war, not in Asia, but in Vienna. 3 pumps on that Frostburn Weird, getting in whatever damage
4,
he
5,
can.
6, 7, 8, 10 damage.
And that Mutavault, one of those
Taking your
Mutavaults should be
plains
dead.
or
Taking an
island.
island.
Yes, the Mutavault's dead.
Yeah, one of those Mutavaults is dead. We'll try and get that fixed in a second. Oh, Stan's remembered. There we go. On 4 life though, Stan's got quite a few different things to worry about here. There's Elspeth, there's the handshake.
game.
Jeremy Dezani advancing to the semi-finals. So we will be moving across to another match now.
Good job, friends.
Allez les Bleus.
Allez les Bleus. Rich does that very well.
Well, Rich can sing the national anthem, I'm
Yeah,
told.
I know he can.
Now, sadly, Raf is not standing up now as the French national anthem is
I
being
can hear
sung.
him. I'll sing it along with Rich if Jeremy wins.
Deal. I like this plan. So
Hand on the heart, and standing.
It could be a beautiful moment. There's a bit of time though. First off, we're going to move though to see the next game between Marci Staciwa and Prinzell over on table 4. Prinzell, by the way, with the red deck that we just saw win game 1. We're going to get a chance to see the entirety of subsequent games. Looks like there may have been a mulligan going on here, the fact that they're still shuffling. Yes.
Matches in game 3, so we're on way to get to shuffle.
Yeah, because the Dola match is now in game 3, it seems unlikely that we're going to get to see the last of that match, but we'll catch as much of this one as we can. And wherever we can, we're basically going to run straight on through. We're going to run straight on through and show you as much magic without too many breaks. In the chat, we've got comments that it's a shame that there's no commentary in French.
He actually said, "Too bad there's no French commentators." Yeah, well, that's really a shame.
Oh well.
C'est tellement dommage. Tellement dommage qu'il n'y ait pas de commentateur français.
Pas mal.
All right, back to English.
English in the chat, English in the commentary book.
Yes. Okay. English on the table. That what we used to hear at the draft tables when we or team drafting during PTs in the early days. English at the table. Okay. Okay.
And so, relatively slow start for Staciwa. None of his 1-drops available, but just a scryland for Prinzell. So we got a little bit of time for this game to develop.
The Raptor.
Right on time. So presumably that got drawn this turn.
So yeah, that's
Yes, got some analysis in. And
very, very good.
A burning tree emissary on the other side of the board, but a naked one, so we can probably presume that there's no other 2-drops that he can cast. In his
wow, that Tim.
I'm learning from the master. You should do this all the time.
You should take nicely.
And we've just heard that Robin Dola has won 2-1, so he will now be up against Dezani in the next round, which I'm guessing is going to be the next match that we see. But Thassa, God of the Sea, coming from Marci Staciwa, gradually building up the devotion he needs to make things happen, while Prinzell's devotion engine not quite firing all cylinders just yet.
Tank for 2. The Reckoner. Yes.
There it is, Boris Reckoner. Ignore the fact that it's white, ignore the fact that Burning Tree Emissary is also green. This is very much a red deck. And the Reckoner, very, very solid against many creature decks, kind of holding the ground really, really well.
Against Mono Blue, it's surprisingly very good.
Yeah?
Yes. The only thing that stops him is Master of Waves. Without it, it's at least between 1 and 3 damage every turn, with no real way to take care of it, except for hybridization.
Yeah.
But you would trade a 3/3 for a 3/3. So
yeah, that's a fine trade.
Well, and a card.
For one player, yeah.
And a card.
And it looked, when we got a little glimpse of Prinzell's hand, that he may have a Nykthos Shrine to Nyx. So next turn, we could see quite a few plays from him. He also has Chain to the Rocks ready in case a Master of Waves is incoming.
So blue tap the Reckoner.
That a good answer to the Reckoner from the mono blue deck.
That's a pretty good one.
And very close to the full 5 devotion needed for Thassa to be able to start attacking.
Well, when I said Reckoner was good, it was in the white, red, black deck. That could actually kill the Tidebinder Mage, not in the mono red deck. Because they had so many ways to deal with the Mage that you would never do anything against the Reckoner.
Yeah, not so many ways of killing creatures in this mono red deck. It's more about getting permanence on the board and getting its devotion up.
That deck was not really around during PT's Theros.
Yeah.
So I remember playing as Boris Reckoner in this black, white, red deck.
Yeah.
And it was so hard to beat Reckoner because every time you played something, they would just kill it. And Tyburn Mage would just tap the Reckoner for like half a second and it would just die.
Now Nykthos accelerating out a Stormbreath Dragon. That a pretty solid draw from Prinzell.
What can he do? There's 2 blue. Bounce it.
And it's come into play all right.
Yeah, the Reckoner plays the role of like a big elf. It's just 3 mana on the board. It's a Thran Dynamo.
It's almost a mana vault. It stays tapped.
Oh, mana vault. Yeah. Well, it doesn't. It still provides mana.
And there's the Cyclonic
Bounced.
Rift. Back to hand. Less of that funny business.
Are we gonna see some Chain to the Rocks here? It's tempting to chain the Mage, but if he plays a Spectre or a Master of Waves, if it does not have another Chain to the Rocks, it would feel so wasted.
Yeah, I guess there's a lot of pressure on Chain to the Rocks in this matchup because you know that it's your one out against Master of Waves.
He does have 4, but does he want to play on the Tyburn Mage to unlock his Reckoner?
And that's what he's deep in the tank about at the moment.
He has 2 cards. And also Thassa would be like 2 blue mana away from.
Yeah, I mean at the moment
being woken
creature.
up.
Yeah. At the moment she's just resting.
Yeah, she's
Pining for the fjords.
She's tired. She's just crying. She's crying in a corner, all alone.
So there is the Chain to the Rocks.
Yeah, so he's going for it.
Bye-bye Tyburn Mage.
That's a risky play. I don't know what I would have done.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a judgment call, and we will see how that one worked out.
And he has 2 draws to find one of the cards I mentioned.
So a little bit of a scry.
Either Master or a
Night Veil Spectre?
Spectre. Or even another Mage.
Oh, that would be kind of a beating.
That's a lot of outs, so. In any case, if it's another Mage, it's still fine, because otherwise he would have tapped the dragon next turn.
So he is going to draw that card. The Scry not making his draws any better. Quite happy with them exactly as they stood. And of course, just to address some queries from the chat, couldn't Chain to the Rocks Thassa because Thassa doesn't count as a creature until you have the Fight Devotion. At a later point in the game, it's entirely possible that a Chain to the Rocks on Thassa will be exactly the play you want to make, but wouldn't work right now. And just to confirm, this is the last quarterfinal running. We already have Dolar, Dezani and Kartenberg in the semi-finals. This is the last match to go before our semi-finals begin.
That's super painful.
So he went to all of that work to get his Boris Reckoner back.
Now he did, like he lost his Thran Dynamo now.
Yeah.
And he's now facing Reckoner, which is a pretty big threat.
Yeah, the fact that he can't pay red or white to get first strike, not something that Staciwa is worried about. It's decimated the board that Prinzell had, and unless he's got a land, he can't recast that dragon. So okay, fine.
He can.
That part of the puzzle is solved, but
so he comes the dragon, attack for 6.
Good chance that Thassa is going to be active next turn. Staciwa going to 10 here.
With only 1 card in hand, can he deal. Yeah, he can actually with any blue creature. That would pump. That would. He would deal 10 damage this turn.
Looks like a Jace. No.
Anything is good now for 4 mana.
Wow! If you're looking for something good, this Master of Waves might have just locked up this game. 5 tokens.
And with
That's as active.
this is Fanatic Mogus. He would be short on points as well. So he needs to keep the Raptor in like to block this turn. He can attack with Thassa and the Reckoner. Chump blocking the Dragon. I think he should chump block the Dragon, not to be safe from an emissary into a Fanatic.
Yeah. And we saw that last game, that's how Staciwa lost, was just from a colossal Fanatic of Mogus.
Because if he attacks for 6 this turn, no, for 8 this turn, he's putting Johan to 10. No, to yes, to 10. And tokens are gonna finish the work. So it's taking a lot of risk by attacking with the Raptor.
But he's going in.
And the 2 damage are pretty much irrelevant here.
Prinzell on 8, so facing down many times lethal thanks to that Master of Waves.
Well, he doesn't have either of them, but
yeah, not
he
too
didn't have
much
the
going on for
emissary
Prinzell.
or Mogus, but that was the only way Marcin would have lost this game.
Yeah, always worth sort of thinking through, even when you appear to be miles ahead, is there a way that I could easily play around something that I could lose to? And if you can easily play around it, you might as well do so, right?
Well, he could have had like another Chain to the Rocks, but that's very unlikely that he had Chain to the Rocks.
Yeah.
He could have had a Discipline in hand. If he had Chain to the Rocks into a Fanatic, would that have worked? No. He would still lose. Yeah, he would still lose to that.
So there's Chandra Pyromaster with a little bit more work to do than she can really handle, if we're honest.
Well, she can find a Chain to the Rocks. That's the only thing she wants to find.
What have we got?
Mizium
Mortars.
Not doing much here. Or
We're not doing enough
his 2 mana in pool. Yeah.
A new Nykthos. This is
Okay.
interesting.
Oh, he has 6 mana. Oh, he can actually play it. Oh, wow.
The Boros Reckoner gets to deal damage back to him though, right?
Yes, but is this gonna be 4? Oh wow, he's not dead at all. Wow. That's pretty awesome.
That's a line of play.
That's a lineup I hadn't seen.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen, but it's there are a lot of cards involved.
And Staciwa just sort of
So
taking a little look at the board that's about to disappear.
Like he has to play it now, so he can actually kill the dragon with the. He can't kill the dragon with the Reckoner,
Oh, because it's taking 4
Yeah.
damage, yeah.
and he would still have Thassa in play. Well, I don't think he really has the choice here. Oh, okay.
Rapid hybridization on the dragon.
What? Oh, he hasn't played it yet. Why would he do that? Now he can't attack with the Master of Waves.
So he's redirecting damage to Chandra, getting more things off the board, leaving his side of the board as being just Master of Waves and Thassa. But then, yeah, the 3-3, it's not a perfect answer to Master of Waves, but now that the tokens are gone...
he has Thassa, so he can be unblockable.
Yeah.
Like, Master of Waves could be unblockable. That's right.
But somehow or other, Prinzell found a way to survive, and...
No, Frog is not attacking. And this one is not attacking. Oh. No, why? Oh.
He got so carried away with how good it is going that turn already that
yeah.
just threw his Burning Tree Emissary into the bin.
I don't need that one. It's okay.
And so an unblockable Master of Waves, a cheeky 2. Prinzell down to 6 now.
Go. Oh. Attacking for 5 now would have been a little better.
Yeah. Just the one card in Staciwa's hand.
That's the kind of play that haunts you for a long time.
He's going to feel that one.
Oh, it's only game 2, right?
Yeah, the chat suggesting that Johan's actually being nice to us and letting us see a game 3 as well.
It's very nice. Scry, keep.
It's not a nice feeling when you see your opponent scry keep.
You know, the feeling you have when you mess up a game, it's so strange because you did something wrong. You like, oh no, I don't deserve it. And then the next game, when you open a bad hand, like, yeah, I knew it. Yeah. I have to mulligan. You're going to mulligan down to oblivion and lose the game just because you messed up game 2.
So Tidebinder Mage now locking down that Frog Lizard.
Go, giving him a lot of time to recover. 6 life to so is it another Master of Waves? Wow.
Oh.
A lot of tokens.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means that Thassa is now a creature. Master of Waves doing everything all in one go. Each of those elementals are 3/2.
He's lethal this turn. No, actually not. He can attack with everything this turn. He can attack with the mage as well. Yeah. There's no reason not to attack with the mage. He has to block Thassa.
Yeah. He's just making sure.
Just send it.
As soon as you see your opponent make a mistake, you're like, I don't want to be the one that does it too.
And when you think I don't want to make a mistake, that's when you actually make mistakes. Yes, yes. Have it. Yes. Block Thassa.
Down to 2. Doesn't untap. Sorry there, Johan.
And that's probably game.
Yep.
All right, we're going to see game 3.
All right. So, Mono Blue, pretty solid matchup against Mono Red. The Frostburn Weird's just a naturally well put together body to stick in the way of any aggressors. And then you've got your Master of Waves with protection from red.
Tidebinder Mages.
Yeah, like, you've got a bunch of sort of incidental sideboard cards in your main deck.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously for game 3, you've also then got your sideboard, but I'm not sure how much sideboarding Staciwa really does in this matchup. Let's have a quick look at what he's got on offer. So he's got Rapid Hybridization, Negate, Jace, Bident of Thassa, Cyclonic Rift, Etherling, Ratchet Bomb, Domestication, and Gainsay. So Gainsay is definitely not coming in, step 1, but he doesn't really need to bring in a whole lot full stop. His deck's already fairly well set up for this matchup, right?
So do you think Johan's bringing wear and tear?
And what? I mean, he's got Biden of Thassa as a target
And domestication.
and domestication.
Domestication is very good.
He was certainly looking at wear tear just as he started sideboarding there. And both players now do have access to each other's deck lists. So Johan Prinzell looking at literally the same piece of paper that we got. We got a photocopy of that very piece of paper. And we saw a little wince from Prinzell. I don't know if that's that the chair's uncomfortable. He's been playing a lot of Magic today, or about the matchup. Maybe a little bit of both. But it's certainly one where, I mean, I'm not sure that even had Prinzell not screwed up where he did on that turn, that he wouldn't still be losing that game the way that things ultimately played out. But he just needs to put that out of his mind now and focus on playing great Magic for what may be
What happened
his
before
last game in the top 8.
You have to forget about everything
Yeah.
that happened. You have to focus on the new game. This is one wear and tear in the sideboard. That means the other one is probably in the deck. I'm sideboarding out the dragons.
Interesting.
On the play, being more 2/2s.
Now, worth pointing out, of course, that with 1,485 players, I think, all 8 players in this top 8 have Pro Tour invitations. This is not effectively the final of a surprisingly long PTQ. We will be seeing all of these players at Pro Tour Born of the Gods next year. This, of course, the last premier event in 2013 in Europe, though, of course, next weekend in Dallas, a whole bunch more standard. So
I'm not going to be there.
Nah, me neither. But I'm going to be watching from home.
That's a nice place.
Ever since I worked out how to plug my TV in to watch the stream on my TV, I've got a whole weekend's programming. It's awesome. So Prinzell shuffling up here. For good or for ill, he's got his 60 cards for this next game.
So now you have to take a deep breath and play with a clear mind. Focus on the last game. Hope for the best.
It's funny because we're talking a lot about Prinzell's state of mind here, but imagine these 2 games had been the other way around and that Prinzell had his big devotion win right now. I mean, he'd been in exactly the same position in terms of match score, but his mind state might be very different. And ideally what we're saying is that you should just always have the same sort of view regardless of how
for sure.
things go.
But it's so hard to control your feelings like that. It's just so hard. There's no word. You have to be at a level not only of play but of focus and determination to forget about a game that just didn't go the way you wanted or that you messed up in.
And so he sees a hand that it has Chained to the Rocks, it has
Lands,
a couple of lands, it's got a Nykthos.
That hand is very good.
I think he couldn't realistically ask for a whole lot more. I mean, Chained to the Rocks, so important to counteract Master of Waves and potentially some other big threats, that if he had to pick a hand, I don't think he would pick one dramatically different to the one he's got.
And he's crying as well. Bottom. Raptor. You're gonna see Ash Zillet in turn 2.
There we go. Straight in we go. 18 life for Marci Staciwa, and we find out whether or not he's got his really good draw, which I guess would probably be Tidebinder Mage here to lock down the Ash Zillet and do a bit of evolution.
Actually, Forcebind Wind would be a better turn 2.
Certainly not complaining about it that way around though, and getting in for a cheeky point himself. So we know Prinzell does have more lands to work with. He's playing
So
his
he
second
does have
Sacred untapped.
a third. So does he have a Reckoner in hand? Otherwise, he would not play his. Yes.
Nice.
Sacred Foundry untapped.
And we know he has a Nykthos, so next turn, potentially a lot of mana. Siding out those dragons might be something he comes to regret.
Oh, another Tybana Mage.
Now that's a big game, so that means that 4 points coming in for Staciwa here, taking Prinzell to 13.
Is there Mizium Motor somewhere? No.
Not in hand. Nope, not off the top either.
There's not much he can do now. He can go for Chandra, but Chandra is not going to do much. It's going to die. Maybe Chain to the Rocks for something?
I mean, he has 3 copies of Anger of the Gods that were in his sideboard, which right now, I don't think he would necessarily mind fairly soon being able to just wipe the board and start over, get a bit of extra damage.
Do you think he actually board them in against blue?
I mean, against the Master of Wave tokens, sometimes you just need a reset button, even if you can't deal with the Master itself.
That's right. So Chain to the Rocks on what? On the, he hit on 13 life. Oh yeah, I thought he was targeting his on Reckoner.
Yeah.
I didn't quite get it.
Yeah. That would be an unfortunate turn of events.
It would be a pretty bad misclick.
I've made some bad misclicks in my time. F6 turn 1.
Alright, 4 damage. Johan's already on 9 life.
Yeah, this blue deck has successfully
And here we
beaten
go.
down pretty well, and
Oh, Domestication.
it's not a Master of Waves, but it's still pretty good. So the point where he was pointing at his Boros Reckoner was just making it clear which Tidebinder Mage you wanted to take.
Yes.
The one that was locking down his 3/3.
So now he doesn't even have the mana to play a potential Mizium Mortars that he could have done. So Mountain, is he gonna go for Chandra?
Another Ash Zealot.
A very unimpressive Ash Zealot. That could have been a dragon.
Could have been a dragon.
So he will be attacked for a 5.
This, of course, the last quarterfinal. So
that doesn't look very good.
we're going to have Dolar versus Dezani, Kaltenberg versus the winner of this match. With very little break in between, so we can just run straight on through, see plenty of magic.
Attack with the Flyer and the Reckoner for 5, putting them to 4. That means even Mizium Mortars would not win the game, would not be able to turn the
Yeah, because Mizium
tables.
Mortars will just get turned straight back at his face.
Yeah. Knowing that he has a Nykthos and a Pyromancer in hand, that's that looks like using your words, winning from Johan's side would be optimistic. So he's blocking, right? So he can just kill the other Zillet as well. No,
If he
puts him
wishes.
down to 5.
Just going to the face. And there's a
Oh.
Mutavault. The nail in the coffin.
So
one
not
must
even
think.
Anger of the Gods would win. I predict Joe's coup. No. No, he's playing it out.
He wants to get his camera time.
Yeah.
I think he's done very well for camera time. We've seen plenty of this match. The way that the time differences work out, it'll be that we finish and I get to find out exactly what was going on at the end of day 1 of Toronto and read the coverage of that one later on. And
that's it.
There's the handshake. Marci Staciwa wins 2-1 over Johan Prinzell. So that gives us our